today might be a good day to maybe do some predictions. So each of us come up with like one prediction and talk through it.
I think that there is a world in which the Browns can bring back Jacoby Brissett as their backup quarterback. I don't know that Joe Flacco will be back here, even though, the Browns love him. The fans love him. He might be best served by going somewhere where he really has a bona fide chance to either start or be a bridge quarterback for a rookie or compete with someone for the starting job. So I don't know necessarily if he will be back here, but I think there's a world in which Jacoby Brissett can come back. He tried to go to Washington and be the starter. It didn't work out. I know they would have been willing to trade him at the trade deadline, but the Browns were not willing to give up what it was going to take to get him at that time. But now I think they and other teams recognize that you really do need a really good backup quarterback that can step in and potentially start 6, 7, 8 games for you, maybe more. So I'm going to say that they make a pitch to bring Jacoby back. And I think that would give them a bunch of leadership that they're going to potentially lose with some other guys and a really good backup.
I think what I'm going to go with is my prediction is the Browns sign another big name receiver opposite of Amari Cooper, because I just think it was like the most glaring need down the stretch of the regular season. And we know, obviously, this is something we're going to, I'm sure, talk about ad nauseum, their cap situation for next year. They're projected to be, I think, 13.9 million or 14 million over the cap next year as things stand right now. You look at Amari Cooper's cap hit, his number's about 23.7 million for the 2024 season. So it's fascinating. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that contract, if they're going to restructure it, if they would let Amari go. I don't think they should. I think that would be a massive mistake because of how good he's been here. But I am curious to kind of see how that market shakes out and if we're going to see them be aggressive in the way they were 2 years ago when they got Amari. Because looking at some of the big names, I haven't spent a ton of time researching this, but would they be willing to go out and poach a T. Higgins if they could, somebody who can go out there, make big plays for them, because they, year after year, it just seems like that has been their weakness. And Amari, I think, is the one move we can look at and say, yes, go out and do that again.
I mentioned tackle yesterday, Mary Kay. And I can't figure this position out. I can't figure out what the Browns are going to do at this position, because right now, as it stands, they are bringing back next year Jedrick Wills at 14. His cap hit is $14.5 million. Jack Conklin, his cap hit is close to $13 million. And then, of course, there's DeJuan Jones, and we don't have to worry about his cap hit because he's going to be super cheap for the next 3 years, and the Browns can't even pay him until after the 2025 season. So that's a huge benefit of having a 4th-round pick. The problem here is you have 3 guys who need to start, and you don't start 3 tackles. So something's got to give here. And the one move they can make so that 2 of those guys can start is a trade. And so I guess this is a bold prediction. My prediction is the Browns trade Jedrick Wills. They can't cut Conklin. Now, they'll probably redo that contract. But they, as it stands right now, it's a huge cap hit to trade or cut him. And then you're not doing anything with DeJuan Jones because, again, he's proven himself a capable starter. Jedrick Wills, however, you can trade him and you save almost $13 million, $12.7 million. That's according to Over the Cap. Now, I know they like Jed Wills. I know he was Andrew Berry's first draft pick, number 10 overall. But again, something's got to give here. Now, maybe they figure out a way to move on from Conklin. And obviously, it's not going to be Jones. But I don't see a world where you can have those 3 players in your building at the same time because they all 3 need to be starters. So right now, when I look at it, the easiest path is you trade Wills, you move Jones to left tackle, you put Conklin at right tackle, and you go from there.